Happy Super Bowl Sunday, everyone! And welcome back to another week of MMTV. Today is Sunday, February 13th, 2022. Per usual, it is Samantha, your beloved host, and we are back this exciting evening with even more new segments. This semester, Chris has returned and will be continuing his amazing original segment, Drum Studio. Next up, Marissa shares another question of the week. Let's check them out.
Chem is my favorite class because of the labs that we do, and I think it's fun to do the hands-on stuff.
My favorite class right now is English because I love to read.
Okay, Algebra 2 because it's very challenging but enjoyable.
Hi, my name is Sakaya, and my favorite class is band because I just like the creative freedom that I get in that class, and I don't feel like I'm forced to do any certain thing.
My favorite class is pre-calculus because we do geography as well as math, which is great.
My favorite class is probably history. My favorite class is probably psych because I want to major in something having to do with psychology.
My favorite class is probably math with Miss Knox because she's a very good teacher.
Don't forget, the Key Club's Elizabeth Friedman Center Drive is still going on. This Tuesday is the last day to donate and earn points for your grade. They're in great need of a variety of essentials, including socks, diapers, deodorant, hairbrushes, and more. Please leave all donations in room F25 so they can assure safe transportation. Next up, Rosie shares her segment, Student Profile, where we meet a new student weekly. Then, Conrad speaks with a familiar friend this week in his segment, You Ask, We Answer. Let's see who it is.
This is Megan DuPont. Megan is a sophomore here at Monument. Her favorite subject to take here is math. After high school, Megan hopes to go to college but doesn't know what career path she wants to take yet. When she's not at school, Megan plays softball and basketball. In her free time, Megan loves to swim and she also works at the Barrington Brewery. Some things a lot of people don't know about Megan is she's actually the co-president for the class of 2024. She loves cereal and she has a younger sister. One of Megan's favorite things about Monument is being able to learn new things every day. That was this week's Student Profile. Tune in next week for more.
Music. What do you want to learn about? Music. Perfect. Hello. Hello. I'm behind the camera this time. This is Chris, expert musician, filmer of music, and you know, our topic for this week, as you saw before, was music in general. So we're gonna start off with Chris. You know, how'd you start off with playing music at such a young age? Like, how were you introduced to it or anything like that?
It was kind of just like, I was introduced to music. It was always just a thing. My mom would play like the Beatles and stuff, and I always loved that. And I got into some other stuff, and then I started playing the drums, and that kind of began it all. And up until I was around 12 or 13, I really got into guitar, and I've been self-taught in that for a while. For about 2 or 3 years now, and
you kind of have a limited budget and you were limited on what you can do. How'd you use your resources around you to start doing what you love, like filming, all this music?
Well, it all really, the filming aspect really started here at Monument, but overall, music in general, I just kind of grew up with it. But coming into recording it, it's kind of, budget-wise, it's pretty expensive. So I've kind of just started out borrowing some things from Mr. Cakeley.
Yeah, but I know you told me are slowly upgrading your setup with
yes.
the new LED lights and stuff to add more effects and the multi-view filming, which is really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's all part of the filming and there's a lot that goes into recording one of my YouTube videos, and what happens is, like, for a budget, like, you just kind of have to do your research and figure out what you want to do. You can find anything from, in terms of microphones, probably from, $50 to $80 to, thousands of dollars. But that's where I would recommend starting. But for a budget, it hasn't really affected me yet.
Awesome. That's really awesome, because I've seen your videos and they're amazing. And with just like that kind of equipment, I mean, it kind of anybody can kind of get into it.
I was just kind of like, I almost stumbled upon it, and it was just kind of like, I was kind of struggling with something to come up with besides the art room, and Mr. Cakley mentioned that we had talked about the drums and stuff like that, music, and he's like, why don't you do something with that?
Yeah, that's really cool. All right, thank you so much. Here's the awkward handshake. Thank you. All right.
Don't forget, February break starts up this week. There will be no school from Saturday the 19th to Sunday the 27th. Speaking of the upcoming break, are you looking for something new to check out during all that extra time? Perhaps a new video game to play, or some music to listen to? Well, if so, you're in the right place. Sam is up first reviewing and sharing his perspective on video games. Nick will then follow with another weekly review on music.
This week I'm back to talking about SMT, the Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne. Released on February 20th, 2003 for the PlayStation 2, and later remastered for the PlayStation 4 and Nintendo Switch, Shin Megami Tensei 3 Nocturne takes place in a post-apocalyptic world where you play as the Demi-Fiend, a half-human, half-demon exploring the ruins of a destroyed Tokyo. Nocturne's gameplay introduced many features that would become staples of future SMT games. For example, the press turn battle system, which works off giving you an extra half turn when exploiting an enemy's weakness, as well as losing turns when an enemy is resistant to an attack. While simple at first glance, it grows into a complex strategic system when realizing enemies can use the press turn system the exact same way as the player.
Hey guys, welcome back to It's Music. It's me, your host. And today we're going to be talking about the 2016 compilation of albums Everywhere at the End of Time by The Caretaker, a UK-based artist who, the inner workings of his mind scare even me, and I haven't even gotten the opportunity to think about it too much because I've been too busy crying listening to this compilation of albums. Now, this is a 7-album compilation created by this crazy dude, I assume only in his basement somewhere in London, meant to represent the ideas and understandings of dementia, both as someone who's watching someone go through it and someone who is going through it. If you would like, which I don't recommend, you can listen to this. I have listened to it all the way through. If you go here on the Bandcamp for it, you see there's this really long description of each stage, because each album is a stage of dementia, because it goes that deep. It's depressing. Do not read these while you listen, or do if you hate yourself. Because I hate myself. Now, if you do hate yourself and you want to listen to this, that's your own prerogative. But I've already listened to it, and let me explain some of it for you. Now, you've got 1 through 3. These are the actual musical albums, and they're amazing. Like, musically, I really enjoyed the vibe, and the ideas presented in these 3 albums. They scare the crap out of me, and I love it. Then over here, you've got the last 3 albums, which scare the crap out of me and make me want to cry. And then you've got the last album, which has 5 minutes of maybe the most heart-wrenching, scary, beautiful moment I've ever experienced in my entire life. It's amazing, and it's crazy, and I love it. Now, I have to actually rank this, which is scary. And you can either do that by ranking it as a piece of art or as music. I'm going to do music really quick. If we're going album by album, this one's like a 9 closer to an 8. This one's like an 8 closer to a 9. This one's like a 9 closer to a 10. These don't count. I'm sorry, except for the last 5 minutes of this one. This one counts, but only a little bit. Only a little bit. That's the only, like that part? That part's like a 10. The rest of it's like a 0, because it's wind. Do you want to listen to wind? I don't. Now, speaking of that section, that little section right there, that's a 10, still right there. Don't let it leave your mind. It's still there. This is you dying, by the way. I can't make this up. Listen to the last 10 minutes and listen to the last song. This is you dying. You die. You're sitting there, you're listening to this, and it's telling you you're dead. Literally, it sounds like the gates of heaven are opening, and that scares the crap out of me. But it is beautiful. Literally got me sitting on the couch listening to this album like, oh, sorry guys, I have to die real quick, because this is so beautiful. Now, if I want to rank this as a piece of art, it's a masterpiece. It's a 10 out of 10. It's beautiful. It's one of the most, no, it is the most interesting experience I've ever had in my entire life, sitting down for 7 hours and listening to this. I don't recommend it. Honestly, I would not put anyone through this, but if you would like to, it is a life-changing experience, and this is a 10 out of 10 art piece. And I still think about it, and literally some of the audio from this has become a meme, and it scares me, and it is haunting my dreams every night. But I'm going to say art piece, this is a 10, closer to an 11, and as music, some of it's really good, some of it is wind.
These spring musical auditions are starting up soon. If you would like to audition, they will be taking place Wednesday and Thursday, March 2nd and 3rd from 3 to 6 p.m. Callbacks will be Friday, March 4th from 3 to 6 p.m. Good luck to all who will be attending. It's that time to turn on the relaxing background music and grab the whisk because Julia is back sharing another recipe. And Alec is quick to follow, sharing his book review of the week. Take it away, guys. The Monument Spartan scavenger hunt ended last Friday. Yet unfortunately, at the time of this recording, we are unaware of the winners, but they will be announced in next week's episode. Now, it is finally time for the new edition of our Sports Weekly, where we give you all the latest updates in the sports world. First off, Wesley gives us the national sports news rundown. Let's see what he has to share. Directly following, previous MMTV member Caden is back yet again with a whole new segment. This time around, Caden will be sharing all the latest basketball news and we'll be discussing everything basketball as well. On Wednesday, February 9th, the Commissioner of Education announced that on February 28th, the state mask mandate will be lifted. The district will hold a school committee meeting on February 17th at 6 p.m. regarding the district's proposed plan. As the proposed plan is released, we will update you with all the vital information. Did you know that the original color of carrots grown in Europe were violet? No, me neither. Maybe I should leave the weekly botany facts to Ray. Let's see what Ray has to say.
The corpse flower, or Titan arum, was discovered by Odardo Beccari in 1878. The plant got its unfortunate little nickname because when it flowers, it gives off a strong scent that unfortunately smells like a corpse. The corpse flower is actually incredibly interesting, as it's regarded as the biggest flower in the world, the plant growing from 10 to 15 feet in height, with leaves usually as big as 13 feet, and the largest flower that blossomed from the plant was 10 feet tall. It grows from a bulb in the ground, and is found naturally growing in the rainforests of Indonesia. The fully blooming plant gives off the stench of death to attract pollinators. Pollinators, like birds, eat the little berry fruit that grows on it and disperse the fruit. Also, the spiked center of the flower, known as the spadix, is hollow and topped with a lot of pollen. When it blooms, it gets dispersed by bees and other pollinators. Time for some facts. The plant only blooms once every 7 to 9 years and only flowers fully for 24 to 36 hours. It will be dormant for the rest of the time, living in its bulb form. Even with it blooming so rarely, the corpse flower will live from 30 to 40 years. The plant is considered to be poisonous and is in no way edible to humans. Legally, you can grow these plants in your house, but I don't think it's recommended, as these plants grow naturally in the jungle, and having a plant that will stink like a corpse for 2 days is not beneficial, in my opinion. The corpse flower is in the same family as the Rafflesia flower, which the Pokemon Vileplume was based on. The corpse flower is an endangered species, and there are estimated to be less than 1,000 left in the wild due to the deforestation and its natural habitat in Indonesia. A single corpse flower bulb could cost at least $230. Now, that's a lot of money for an 8-foot-tall stink bomb. Despite its name, the corpse flower is not carnivorous and has never been found to eat meat or humans in any way. It goes by many names, such as corpse flower, the death flower, the carrion flower, Titan arum, and its scientific name, Amorphophallus titanum. The flower stages and the leaf stages of the corpse flower have completely different rates and almost completely different life cycles. The corpse flower can warm itself up to 98 degrees Fahrenheit, very close to the human's average body temperature. That's all for now on our stinky friend. See you next time on Ray's Not So Neighborhood Botany Facts.
It is no secret that mental health is a very prevalent topic in our current society. With the heavy load of the everyday stressors and with the added pandemic as well, young impressionable teens are largely influenced. On Tuesday, February 15th from 6:30 to 8, there will be a free online interactive forum available to help individuals with their education regarding youth mental health, specifically looking at anxiety, depression, and stress. Check out the February 4th newsletter for a link regarding additional information. Are you in the mood to start a new TV show series, or perhaps even a movie? If yes, we have the Mias with their review on the hit show Criminal Minds. Tessa follows with a movie review on the movie Dead Poets Society right after.
Hello everyone and welcome back to Mia and Mia's TV review. Today we are reviewing Criminal Minds. The show has 15 seasons with only 12 of them being on Netflix. The show is about a group of FBI agents traveling around the country to remote towns where a strand of connected crimes happen that the local police cannot solve. The show normally begins with the attention on an unknown person who could be a victim, the killer, or just a witness who happens to stumble across the body. After the opening credits, the show usually cuts to the VAU conference room where the tech analyst, Penelope Garcia, gives the team a rundown of the recent crime committed and where their location is. After the rundown, Erin Hutchner normally gives the team a time where the plane would leave. During the plane ride, they would go more in depth with what's going on and what their initial thoughts are on the crime scene. While they were talking about the serious stuff, they also have normal conversations and play games like chess. Spencer Reed, a genius boy with an IQ of 187,
is the master of chess. He's the youngest member of the team, but definitely not overlooked. He always baffles the cops and police officers with his knowledge of the case and their area. The man most annoyed by this boy genius is his best friend, Derek Morgan.
Derek Morgan is the pretty boy athlete. He is the one to tackle the unsubs. While he is handsome, he's also pretty smart. He loves Spencer like a little brother, but sometimes Spencer's logic makes no sense to him whatsoever. He has this flirty friendship with Penelope Garcia. Sometimes their conversations are not work-friendly, but their relationship definitely makes the serious show a little more relaxing.
JJ is a beautiful woman who shows how much women can handle. She's independent, smart, and athletic. She knows her worth. Once someone gets on her wrong side, they will regret it. She marries a cop from New Orleans and they have kids together. Her friendship with Penelope and Emily makes my day. One time they were at a bar and this strange man tried to hit on them and say that he was an FBI agent. They left him going on for a bit, but caught him in his lies.
Emily Prentice is another strong and capable woman who didn't let people tell her what to do. In the beginning, she tried to challenge Reed's mind and once again failed. She was brave and kind to those around her. She can also take some insults. One of my favorite times was when a sexist man came in for questioning. Emily and JJ went into the room and started talking about how they don't stick to the old-fashioned standards.
Agent David Rossi, or Papa Rossi as the fans call him, is the dad of the team. Though he came during the third season, he really held the team together. He worked in the BAU years before the show started, and only came out of retirement to close a case that went cold for years. After solving the crime with the help of Hotchner's team, Rossi decided to go back to the job he missed so much.
Criminal Minds has 15 seasons, with only 13 of them being on Netflix, but Hulu has them all. The show is for more mature audiences. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.
This past Friday, the girls' basketball team had their senior night in the game against Lennox. Congratulations to all the senior ladies. Another week of MMTV, another week of myths. Let's check out Gage with this week's Mythbusters segment. Following, weatherman Luke shares the weekly forecast.
What's going on, everybody? Luke here with MMTV weather. This week's weather is pretty nice. We can expect a mostly cloudy week with a light shower later. Sunday is going to be slightly cloudy with a high of 22 degrees. There's about a 40% chance of snow and a 100% chance of the Bengals winning the Super Bowl. So go Joe Shiesty, and our AFC boys are going to clinch the dub. Monday through Wednesday, it's pretty mellow and there isn't many changes going on, but Thursday that all changes. The temperature jumps up into the 40s and we can expect to get hit with a little bit of light rain and possibly some snow depending on the variation in the temperature, and that kind of muggy weather carry on through the weekend as the temperature stays around 35 on both Friday and Saturday and doesn't drop very far from there. We can expect about a 30% chance of light snowfall depending on what the temperature does on Saturday, but as of right now it is looking closer to freezing rain and a little bit of sleet. Back to you, Samantha.
Thanks, Luke. Don't forget, tomorrow is Valentine's Day. Make sure you pick up some chocolate for your significant other, or just pick up some chocolate for yourself. Another member has joined the MMTV family. Let's check out Troy's new segment, which will be discussing all things Legos. Right after, Henry shares a product review on the upcoming brand, Everyone. Now it is time for this week's lunch schedule. Monday starts off with breakfast for lunch, which includes French toast and a yogurt on the side. Tuesday, they will be serving hamburgers, cheeseburgers, and veggie burgers. Wednesday gets a little fancy with baked ziti and a dinner roll on the side. Then we finish off the pre-break week with Thursday's chicken nuggets and Friday's stuffed crust pizza. To finish off the week with a bang, Orson gives us a taste into the fashion world with another shoe review. After a short skit will be performed by Hyatt. Let's check out what they have to show.
Alright, so tell me about your shoes, Luke.
Yeah.
What are they?
Yeah.
Hello everyone, my name is Hyatt. I'm in the hallways. That means it's time for Hyatt in the hallways, where I find one of your favorite teachers and ask them a question. Let's go find our first victim. So I'm here with Mr. Coletti. Mr. Coletti, what do you do here?
I teach Exploring Childhood and help to run the preschool program with high school students.
Oh really? How are the kids?
Excellent. We have a great group of little ones, and the high school students are stepping up, and we're having a great time working with little kids.
Dang, that sounds actually really fun. Do you want to hear your question?
I think I'm ready for it.
Okay, your question is, in your opinion, who did let the dogs out?
Typically, I think people would blame the kids for letting the dogs out, but I'm quite certain it was probably an adult that either didn't secure the gate or didn't make it clear to the youngsters how to maintain that the dogs actually didn't get out.
And this has been a lesson in childcare for Mr. Coletti. Thank you, Mr. Coletti. It's been a pleasure.
finishes off this very special Super Bowl edition of the MMTV show. Thank you so much for your weekly support. This show will not be possible without all of our loyal viewers. As always, if you have any suggestions, we are all ears. Please send us any suggestions to our email, monument.tv2021@gmail.com. Have a great Valentine's week, and we look forward to seeing you next Sunday. Same time, same channel. This has been Samantha from MMTV, signing off. Have a nice evening, everyone.